Elite Pro Services presents Behind the Pipes.
Welcome to the show. This is Steve with Behind the Pipes with Elite Pro Services, and I have Jen with me today.
You sure do.
How are you doing, Jen?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. I have a question for you.
Yes, shoot.
This is more of a fun question. I felt this was more appropriate for you than it would have been for anybody else.
Okay.
But I did ask somebody else. But I think it's better for you.
Okay.
Based on your bio that I read.
Okay.
So, yeah, I read it twice, so we have a good understanding. If you had a theme song played every time you walked into a room, what would it be?
AC/DC Thunderstruck.
Oh, you have that.
Yeah, that is my song.
Always been?
Yeah. Oh, I'd say since I started wake surfing. That's just what I always want to have playing when I'm surfing. Yeah. I don't know why. It's just I love it. Gets me going.
It's the blood pumping.
Exactly.
That's so good, though. At least you have a song. Some people are like, let's do the ABCs or let's do. What are you talking about, bro?
Nope.
Jen comes from Colorado originally, right? Mm-hmm. Wheat Ridge?
Wheat Ridge, yeah, but I was there for 2 years.
Where is Wheat Ridge?
It's kind of like a suburb off of Denver. Okay. It's like around like the Arvada area.
Okay. I've been up to Denver once, and we went to Loveland, where
I don't think I've been there, but
more north.
Yeah.
But my son was going to go to school at the college up there, and he decided, nah.
It is beautiful up there.
It is. They do say that the weather changes rapidly there.
Yeah.
And we were there. We went up to Loveland to go in. Not Loveland. Where is it? Yeah, Loveland. And we were there. Woke up sunny. A few clouds, nothing crazy. Went inside to go view the campus or whatever. Came outside, clouds everywhere. Windy, blowing like crazy. I'm like, whoa, that came in quick. Yep. And then we went inside. All we did is walk from one end of the building to the next, downpour.
Yep.
I was like,
yeah.
What in the world? Because we're not used to that here in Arizona.
Oh, yeah, no.
And then we were like getting to the car, and then it's like, that's a snowflake.
Yeah.
What is happening right now? The world's ending.
Yeah.
I was freaking out.
Yeah, it's definitely, it can go from 0 to 100 really quick out there. Everything's
0 to
super quick.
billion.
But everything's so green out there, so that's why, they have so much rain constantly.
That definitely makes more sense as why it's so green, because it's constantly doing something.
Yep.
Let's see. So, Jen, you came to us when?
May 1st was my start date.
May 1st, and you were from what industry?
Photography,
actually.
Yeah.
So when you came to this department, the sales side, right? You're on the
development?
Business development.
Yes,
I never
sir.
know what to say. I always say, like, you like to develop businesses, and no, that's not what it is.
Kinda.
Relationships? Building
Building relationships and
building business?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So what is it that role is for you? What do you do? What's your
So it's client retention of properties that we already have, as well as getting new clients for us as well.
And you're new to this, so how is it all, like, how are you relating things to what you've done in the past? I mean, relationship building, obviously, but that's
yeah, I mean, I would say it is a completely different industry than what I've dealt with in the past, but I would say my kind of organizational skills have come into play big time, of just being able to track what's going on at certain properties, how to approach a certain property with, whatever's going on there, and how the interaction's gone so far. So
that was one thing I did read, that you are very good with organization, taking notes, laminating things, all that stuff. So that's like right in your wheelhouse, like,
Oh yeah.
I got this.
Yeah. That I understand completely. Everything else with like learning the HVAC and plumbing and everything, that's come with the job.
Yeah.
And still in a learning process with that, but feeling a lot more comfortable at this point. So yeah.
Since May 1st, I think you're doing all right. I think you've done well so far.
Well, thank you.
So what are some of the successes that you've had so far? The small things, really, like in the development of like getting to like, okay, this is my first day, and now we're into late September. How do you feel like you've done so far? What's your personal assessment, I guess?
I would say, I think I've definitely I found my groove of kind of the way that I approach properties, because because I was starting with Ryan for the first month, and I was riding with him, and obviously he kind of dominates the room, pretty much any room he walks into, you're gonna listen. But I learned, because we are two different people, so obviously we kind of have to approach things a little bit differently. So it took me, I'd say probably about a month of going out on my own and figuring out what I'm going to be saying and what my vibe's going to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the last like month and a half or so, I've gotten in a pretty good groove with that, where I'm not walking in going like, hi.
Hi. I'm here.
Yeah, so sorry to bother you. There's more confidence in it now behind.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
What were some of the challenges you thought you would face coming into the industry? Like,
I mean, not having any understanding of what an air handler is.
Sure.
What's a fan coil?
yeah.
Refrigerant. There's different kinds of those. Like all of that. It was like there's so many moving parts with all of that that's where I kind of had concerns, and that's when I jumped on YouTube and I'm watching all these YouTube videos. And then, for the first 2 or 3 months I was in Daniel's office, multiple times a day. What does this do? What is that? So, I mean, and everyone's been super supportive and super helpful
Awesome.
with
That's great.
getting me up to speed.
Yeah. There are a lot of moving components. So before you even realize it, you think an air conditioning unit is just a unit.
Right.
And then you're like, wait, there's this and this and this is.
But I also have the brain of like, you can tell me like this part does this, but I want to see it in
Do it.
like actually doing it and
Yeah.
why, and then the why behind everything.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to know, with the state that the Freon's in and when it goes to the compressor and
Yeah.
all this stuff, because it was like I understand the words you're saying, but I don't know like the why behind it.
Yeah.
So
you're
that
just
was
saying
big.
words at this point.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
yeah, that's cool. Now, it is cool because like when you start to figure out what does what, you can actually help not even just our team, but like the property team, like, hey, don't you mean this? Or, typically we see this, but would this happen if that? Are you sure it's not this? Did you check this? Because
Right.
I want to tell my team. And they're like, oh, yeah, let me go check that. And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, you know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
And you're like,
It's a good feeling.
oh, yeah,
It's a very good feeling.
Look at this. Look. Who wants me to work on their stuff?
Right, yeah.
And like, no, we're good. So when you're going through this process of learning things, are you gaining, I think I already kind of asked this question, but when you're gaining that confidence going in there, what are some of like the kickbacks that you're getting that you're like, no, I know how to like combat that? Or how do I, like when you walk into a property manager, I'm trying to word this the right way. So when you go walking into, there's a door, you open the door, right?
Push, pull.
Yeah, there's a push pull door. Challenge number 1, you pull it, right? But when you walk into the office and the property management team is there and you're like, okay, I need to learn to combat this with this. Are you at the point now where you're pretty confident just doing that naturally, or do you still have to call, or what's the, or yeah?
I'm actually I think right now I'm actually in a transition period because I've been going and, wanting to speak with the property managers initially at all the properties. And there's been a few properties that I've been at a couple times now. And I think, I have great relationships with the maintenance crews at certain properties now. So I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe instead of asking for the property manager, I should just go in and ask for the maintenance guy.
Sure.
And kick things off with him. So that's, I think, what kind of my approach is going to be moving forward for a little bit, just depending on the situation and if I've been there before already. And
yeah, after talking to Dom, she has all that experience on that side of it. It was just like, she just knows like, okay, I need to approach it like this.
Right.
Where your end of it is you're still learning what door to open or how to open the door itself, right? So, I mean, that's like your end of it is still brand new. And I'm trying to figure out like what your level is at this point, because you seem very confident.
Well, thank you.
Like when you're talking to, because on Friday and I saw you talking to people, you felt like you belonged, and not that in a negative way by any means, but
I was the wild card.
Yeah,
I was the wild card.
But you are like coming from photography, which is, I don't know if anybody knows this, is not the same thing. Right. They're not in the same world. You go from. But I guess relationship building, regardless from photography, they have to trust you with their photos. So when you walk into,
well, you got to think about it too. Majority of people don't like being in front of the camera.
Oh yeah.
So if someone is coming to you for headshots or family photos or whatever it might be, most of the time they're going to be like, I don't know what to do with my hands. So, but you also can't, you have to kind of assess that person individually, because if they come in and they're real timid and kind of quiet, you don't want to be like, ha let's go, you kind of want to match their energy. So I think kind of being able to cater to the photography clients and able to make them comfortable during the session so we get the best images that way, that's definitely carried over to this of me just being able to
100%.
read people the right way of we're gonna approach it this way.
Yeah,
you know.
I think that's where I was trying to go with that question. I was like, okay, words are hard right now,
do I
and I'm
word this?
trying to
Yeah.
do this. So, as far as this is all concerned, like you're at September now, what are some of the goals that you've personally set at this point going into some of these properties, or even just in your career itself? What are the goals that you've kind of set 6 months out, a year out, whatever it is?
We have certain numbers, that we're supposed to meet every week.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see myself at a certain number that hasn't necessarily been discussed with the team yet, just personally.
Yeah.
By the end of the year per week. So that's something I'm looking at. Also, the amount of new business that I'm pulling in. So there's been properties that I've gone to that we've worked with in the past, and I've kind of brought them back, or properties that we are working with currently, and they just didn't necessarily have a point of contact with us just yet. So working with them, but I'm wanting to focus more on the new stuff.
Yeah.
All the new people.
The new acquisition portion.
Exactly.
Of that. Yeah.
Yes.
Are you building a relationship with some of those older properties that you're having to, I guess, repamper it, like make them feel okay, or are they just like, oh, we just forgot about you guys, or what was the?
Yeah, I think I haven't run into anything where like there were any issues as to why they stopped using us. It was just like, oh, we wanted to try this person out, and then just kind of got
lost in the shuffle.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So kind of bringing, our face back around there and just checking in and saying hi usually can spark something.
And I think our reputation valley-wide is changing too. Just because we have more people out, we have a bigger team now.
Yeah.
We're not calling from the desk, we're actually making appearances in properties. I think that changes a lot. And in property management, people are flipping and flopping all the time.
Yeah.
That's a revolving door of employees. But I can almost guarantee with the team that we have now, being that you guys are very high energy, all three of you are very different personalities.
Yeah.
We know about Ryan,
Yeah.
Dom, and then there's you. All of you guys have a really bright personality, but you have it in your own specific ways, which is very, I want to say comforting, but the word's maybe not comforting, but it's appealing to people.
Yeah.
Right. So people want you.
Flows well.
Yeah, people want you to come in. People are like, "Oh, Jen's here. Let's talk to Jen." And it's not like I don't feel like any of you guys are like overbearing with any of the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, no.
I know Jose's just starting to get into it. He's starting to figure it out, so he's doing his own thing. But between the three of you, you guys are setting a good solid base for the sales team, or the sales side of it. So
Well, thank you.
I think you guys are doing fantastic from what I see.
Thank you.
Of course, I don't look at numbers, and I'm just giving you an appearance thing. So you guys appear to be doing the right thing.
Well, I appreciate that. Appearances. We're holding up appearances at the very least.
I mean, and then I've talked to this about with everybody, and you and I talked about it on Friday. It's like the environment of just Elite itself is so family based. I mean, just that little thing David and I had that day, like it was just like, that's a random thing. And you and I talked about it. I was like, we're that close that we're willing to do like share a drink, or eat the same sandwich or whatever it is, and we just feel close enough to be a family at this point. So having you added in is a big part of that, because in the beginning we were testing out a lot of those loose ends, and we're like, okay, maybe he's not part of the family, or but when you guys come in and you guys have that great personality that matches, it just feels like it's a natural thing. I don't feel like, oh, here's Jen.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you guys are all fitting in. How would you measure your success in such a like young developing section of our company? How would you measure your success so far?
Measure by
just not even by numbers, but do you think like the measurement of like people calling back, or
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I will say that I do feel very proud of myself, being that I am brand new to this industry. I did not have any connections. I had one connection in the industry with one person.
I know a guy.
And that was absolutely it. So I feel like I've got probably 7 or 8, maybe more properties that are super consistent with me now, that are super friendly and just work together really well. So the fact that I had no connections before this, and I have made those connections in the small time that I've been here, like I think
That's an
I
improvement.
think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's definitely a success. I would give you that.
Yeah, thank you.
Now let's talk about Jen the person.
Okay.
You have all these dance things listed. You were in dance
Yeah.
for 12 years?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
What's your favorite?
Hip hop.
Hip hop?
Hip hop was my favorite. Then jazz. Ballet is way at the bottom. I would actually get in trouble in my ballet class a lot.
Yeah.
My ballet class, my teacher, her name was Francois from France.
Oh, wow.
Heavy accent, strict. And I would get sent in the corner because I'm being obnoxious and rowdy. And she'd also tell me, like, I can never do the accent right, but she'd always start, like, when I just get her past that point, like her breaking point,
Yeah.
Jennifer, you look bizarre. Go sit in the corner.
Bizarre.
Bizarre. I remember the way she said bizarre. But yeah, so I would say hip hop was definitely number one.
Okay.
And then ballet down on the bottom there. But
Jen the hip hop dancer. That's
it's been a long
cool.
time. It's been a long time.
Do you spin on your head and stuff like that? Or do you
Oh, yeah, I
just
still
break
on the
them?
head.
Stop, dude.
Yeah.
Stop, dude.
No, never did any of the. I mean, I did like a tiny bit of
Yeah.
breakdancing stuff, but never any like head spins or
I
anything
got
like
you.
that. No.
That's so cool that you do that. Honestly, like I love to dance. Like when I was a kid,
Yeah.
it was only like a negotiation tactic my nana used to use, but she made me get into like salsa dancing and
That's
merengue and all that
awesome.
stuff just to play baseball.
Well, the coordination that you have,
Yes.
the balance, the mentality that you have of having to remember steps, and
Yes.
now we're moving this direction, and now we're doing this, and
Being light on your
you know.
feet and being
Mhm.
able to move once. Like I didn't.
Especially if you have a partner, because that's a whole other animal.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
At the time, we were 7, 8, 9. You don't like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do
Yeah.
any of that. But I was like, I want to do this because of baseball, right?
Mhm.
And then now I appreciate it more because I'm obviously I figured out. Oh yeah, I have feet. I know how to use my feet.
Right.
So yeah,
Don't trip over them.
yeah, they're big feet, but I still get it. I
I can go water skiing without skis. I've got boats.
Got my own skis, dude.
Yeah.
So you do like wakeboarding?
Wake surfing.
Wake surfing. What's the
Yeah.
difference? I don't
So
understand.
wake surfing and wakeboarding are totally different. So wake
Okay.
surfing is they're both you're behind a boat.
Yeah.
Wake surfing is where the surfboard doesn't have any boots or anything for your feet to get strapped into. So
Okay.
you're just literally like an ocean
surf.
surfboard.
Yeah.
So you're sitting in the water and the boat's pulling you up so you're in the water with a rope.
Yeah.
Boat pulls you up, and then once you're up, then you throw the rope in the boat, and then you can just surf behind the boat.
So you have to pull the board with you.
Mhm.
Like there's no attachment. So you either face plant or
Well, I mean, once you because there's like a little pocket in the wave that once you
Okay.
find that pocket, then you've got push from the back, so you can stay there. I mean, you can surf until the boat runs out of gas, like, and just keep going and going and going and going.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's super fun.
How long did it take you to get good at it?
So I started April 2019, I think it was, and I want to say I went once a week for probably about 6 months. And I think I took a while. It took me a minute to let go of the rope.
Sure.
Just because it's all like these tiny itty bitty little adjustments in the pressure in your feet, which
Yeah.
I just couldn't figure out at
Yeah.
first. But once I got that understood, then the rope was gone. And so it depends. I know people who drop the rope the same day that they try it for the first time.
And they're just good.
Yeah. And other people, it takes them a while to get it figured out. And
Lucky sons of guns.
yeah, exactly.
So is there an ultimate like wake surfing like place, or is there like a goal? Is that because everything there's a world for everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like I didn't realize like some of the stuff like wake surfing. I thought it was wakeboarding. There was
Yeah,
like,
so wakeboarding is you're hanging onto the rope the entire time.
Yeah.
Your boots or your feet are strapped into the boots, and you hang onto the rope, and the boat just pulls you.
and that's when the
you
guys
can't
go
let go of the
flying
rope,
in the air and
otherwise-
stuff,
yeah.
right? Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yep.
But like for me in my head, it's you're on the water with a board, and you're
Mhm.
doing, like I'll never do it. I'll eat water. I'll
I
turn
think you should
into
totally try wake surfing.
I'll turn into an anchor quickly.
Well,
dude.
and the cool thing about wake surfing too that people get confused with wakeboarding is wakeboarding you're going 22 to 30 miles an hour. So when you hit the water, you're going to feel it.
yeah.
When you're wake surfing, you're going, depending on the boat and the wave that you want, you're going anywhere from like 11 to 14 miles an hour.
Okay.
So it's very rare that injuries or pain come from those falls, unless you do something weird.
Water turns into cement real
Yes,
quick. I'll
yes,
tell you
it
that.
does.
So But is there an ultimate, like, I want to go here to do this? I want to try it in this location.
So, well, I did get to wake surf in Turks and Caicos back in March, which was unbelievable. But it's actually very different from wake surfing in freshwater compared to saltwater.
Okay.
Like your buoyancy is completely different.
Oh, yeah.
I'd also been a little rusty. I hadn't been out that much this year. So out there in March, it was like just funkiness. It was way cool though, but what's awesome is the water in Turks and Caicos is completely clear. So you look down through the wave and you can see like the rocks and everything of the ocean underneath you. It's really cool. I wanted to have dolphins come and find me and surf the wave with me, but it didn't happen, so that'll be next time.
Oh, the dream.
Yeah.
So does it translate easy to like regular surfing? Could you do that? I know the boat pulls you, right?
Yeah, there are certain similarities, but I would say ocean surfing and wake surfing are two totally different animals.
Could you do it?
I've tried ocean surfing.
Yeah.
I did. It was on the other side of Florida, so I went to the Atlantic side of Florida.
Yeah.
Coral. I can't remember what it was, but we had waves that are probably like this big, so it wasn't like ocean surfing. You know, it was like
rolling waves.
It was windy that day. You know, but it was. It's totally different, you know, paddling out and then waiting on your board and then popping up on the board and then deciding which heel side, toe side for this. I kept wanting to go heel side for some reason, which anyway, it was definitely a learning experience. And also when you're wake surfing, you can just hop off the board. You can just hop off the board. You have a whole deep lake below you. When you're riding in on a surfboard and you just hop off your board, there's sand right there.
You don't know how far you're leaping off.
Exactly. My knees got all torn up because it was just like I completely forgot and I would just jump off the board. And
was that before or after you learned how to wake surf?
The ocean surfing was 2023. So that was, like 4 years after.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
So you did know how to do one before you got the other. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy. I don't, for whatever reason, that just looks painful to me. I played football. I've wrestled.
Surfing? Like ocean surfing?
Yeah. Everything looks painful to me. Being on the water like that, I was a lifeguard for a little while. I just don't do it. I don't do water anymore.
Hey,
I look at it and like, oh, of course, like the internet shows you the worst things, right?
Right.
But I always think, oh, that's 100% me. I know I'm gonna just like eat water. The wave's gonna crash me.
Oh yeah, I mean you get especially like the salt water up your nose, and then it's in your eyes, and you're completely disoriented. And, yeah.
Oh my god, why did I do this?
Burns.
I would say that a lot. Why did I even do this?
Why am I here? Why am I doing this to myself? And once you get it though, it's pretty cool.
I'll never be that cool.
No.
So photography. Tell me about photography because this is your thing.
It's my thing. Yeah. So I feel like I've had a camera in my hand ever since I can remember. Sure. My family ended up calling the video camera back in the day Jen's growth, because it was just on me 24/7. I started with the VHS video cameras that go on the shoulder, and then slowly got into actually like still photography. My mom was into photography, so it just kind of it was going to happen regardless. And then in high school, got into it was my senior year. Got into the photography class, so it was like developing prints in the darkroom, which I absolutely fell in love with. I wish I could go back and do that. Yeah. And I wish they still had that in schools now, but apparently they pulled all the dark rooms, and it's like that's the basis of understanding photography as a whole. Yeah. You know, even though everything is digital, understanding the basics of it is,
where it comes from, how it develops.
Yeah, it's foundation.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, so went from developing stuff in the darkroom, and then got hired on with picture people doing, family portraits and that kind of thing. And then got hired on with Life Touch doing school portraits, and then went from there.
Nice.
So yeah,
I took photography for a semester in high school, and I did the darkroom stuff, and I liked doing the sepia tone type pictures, and or like taking is it still sepia where you just get the rub edges and like kind of develop the ends? Because I could develop a black and white photo, but then you could rub out and kind of make a silhouette of it, I guess. Yeah. It's more sepia like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what the solution was, but you just kind of take a cotton swab or something like that. And,
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Or under developing a photo.
Is it iodine?
Iodine, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're all right here. Yeah. But like underdeveloping a photo just to see what it
Mhm.
looks like there, or overdeveloping,
Yep.
or like too much exposure or not enough exposure.
Yep.
Like all that stuff is so cool when you start to like break down what a camera can do,
Mhm.
and like the exposure delay, or like my favorite thing was we went to the freeway overpass one time
Mhm.
and just left the
Oh, the shutter open.
the
So you
shutter
have
open.
the. Yep.
You see the lights, and
Mhm.
I did it for 10 seconds at a time. It wasn't anything crazy,
Yeah.
but enough cars passing by. It's such a cool look.
It
It's
is.
such a cool light exposure to see traffic lights or the stars. Like
Yeah.
I went out there and sat out for an hour one time and just let the camera open, and you see, like, it's not a lot in an hour,
Mhm.
but it's enough that you can see just enough of a
Oh, the
trail.
streak of
Yeah.
the world moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
pretty
like,
cool.
whoever says the earth is flat is full of it, bro. I saw it because you see him circle, right? And
Right.
it's such a cool, like, photography is one of those hidden things for me. Like I don't talk about it a lot because I only did it for this small of a section
Yeah.
compared to yours, right? But I just know enough about it to just be intrigued every time I look at a photo.
Yeah.
Like, how did you develop that? What did
Absolutely.
you do? Where did you get that? So I do agree. The dark room should still be in existence. It should
Yeah.
be.
It
And
should
I
be
know-
part of the curriculum from high school to college, all the things.
Yeah.
If you want to learn photography, this is step one.
Because that's the old school art of it, right? That's the basis, like you said. That's where everything should start, because then you understand what a photo is.
So yeah, you're understanding the mechanics of everything.
Yes.
You know, because I mean, everything nowadays, everything can be done pretty much with, you know, a slider, touch of a button, you know.
Oh yeah, you can even just go onto the camera or a computer and like digitally make it look like you took a photo. You know, you can do all these things now. But
Right.
I do agree. I think it's one of those hidden arts
Mm-hmm.
of the art itself.
It's so relaxing.
What were some of the favorite photos you've taken? Like or places or things or done?
I would say one of my earlier ones with my live photography company.
Mhm.
It was a wedding up in Sedona, and it was the wedding reception. Or I'm sorry, the wedding ceremony was out on this beautiful patio, gorgeous view of the Red Rocks, and it's raining, and it's raining harder and harder and harder and worse as the ceremony is getting up.
Sure.
So we had to move everything inside, which was a huge bummer for everybody. But at the same time, where the ceremony was taking place, there was kind of this drain. So everything was kind of coming in this way.
Okay.
But there was this huge puddle that was in the center of this. And I was like, I think we're going to use that. So I had the bride and groom stand behind the puddle, lit them from behind, so they were backlit.
Yeah.
And then because they were backlit, their reflection ended up on the puddle.
Oh, okay.
And so we did
Yes,
this
yeah.
dip and everything, and then like it just so happened that it stopped raining for like 5 minutes. So I was like, "Get the lights, let's go!" Like, so it's this awesome, just epic photo that I think just turned out beautiful. But
Yeah.
I would say just some of the people that I've got to photograph, like in concert or at events, is pretty awesome.
Photography can take you a lot of places.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wish I was better at it, but like, it's one of those things, like, you don't realize what the world would look like if photography didn't look like it didn't
Right.
exist. So some of the pictures you see online, somebody took that picture.
Yeah.
So somebody had to be there, and you got to be there for
Yep.
a lot of it. Like, we're not going to name drop Nelly or Snoop Dogg or nothing, or, you know, Poison, Bret Michaels. No big deal. You know. But those are
I got
cool.
pulled up on stage with Bret Michaels.
That
He
was
pulled me up.
Tell me about that story. Please
Yeah.
tell me. How does that happen?
So it was Aspen Dental's yearly conference that they hold.
Okay.
So that year it was out in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
And then I want to say it was the last night of the conference. So they did this whole big production. They'll usually have a really cool closer, just concert the last night. And they'll wait until they're actually coming on stage to like announce who it is. So no one knew who was going to be performing. So I'm at the front of the stage, and they start, announcing who it's going to be, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, this will be great. And I don't know, I mean, because I'm kind of in the little security area, I'm not in the pit, but I'm
Sure.
like standing with the security guys, and so I'm standing there photographing, and Brett's coming around, and he's walking. I don't know if it's the blonde hair or whatever, but he kept making eye contact with me, and then at one point he comes over and he was like, you know what? Let's go. Come here. So he was like, grabs my camera, puts it on stage, then has me crawl up on stage. And he's
Yeah.
like, now let's get a whole group photo. So he stands in front of the crowd and we get this whole group
wicked.
photo. And it was awesome. It was
That
so
is
cool.
So cool, dude.
Yep. And then Nelly got right up in my face. So like the photo that I took of him, you can actually see my reflection in his sunglasses.
Oh, no way.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's.
Yep. Yeah.
I have evidence just so we're cool.
I was
Receipts.
there. Yeah.
And then Chester?
Yes.
From Linkin Park?
Yes, that was one of the coolest experiences. So they were doing a private concert at the Mauna Lucia.
Okay.
I could not tell you for what company, but it was a little smaller event. It wasn't anything crazy. And they had it kind of set up in the like patio area of the Mauna Lucia.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny because I think they got started performing at like 9 p.m. So where the stage was, there's rooms all around that can clearly hear the concert. And
Sure,
obviously,
yeah.
everyone who's staying there is not there for the event.
Yeah.
And so they got on the mic and they were like, oh, just wanted to say thank you guys so much for being out here. And to everyone who's in their rooms right now, pissed that we're about to get started, we are Hoobastank. I was like, that's great. That was awesome. But then after the concert, we ended up getting to go meet Chester. And
Okay.
I had been a Linkin Park fan since middle school.
Yeah, yeah.
Those guys just
Yeah.
got to the soul big
Yeah.
time. And so I knew that I was going to be meeting him earlier. And so I was trying to come up with some, something good to tell him,
Yeah.
thank you so much, some kind of thank you, some kind of
Yeah.
support, and I get to him and it was like, I like your music.
You're cool.
But it was so awesome because I ended up getting, a few things out and had a little bit of a conversation with him. But when I
Yeah.
shook his hand, he grabbed my hand and held my hand.
Yeah.
And the whole time, there are hundreds of people running around us, crazy things going on,
Sure.
people yelling and, this, we got to do this. And Chester, we got to go over here. The whole time that all this chaos is going on, he didn't break eye contact with me once. He was holding my hand the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
I was the only person that was in that room.
That's awesome.
And
that's so cool, dude.
The gentle spirit that man had
Yeah.
was unmatched.
Chester-
ugh.
They're from here. Yeah, which
Yep.
is super cool. And Chester was always one of those, like, in an interview, if somebody was disrespecting somebody else, he would like, hang on a second. I don't think you understand what pressure we go through, or
Yep.
or he would have. I've heard a few stories from friends that have been to concerts or whatever, and he would take the time to go and sign an autograph, and it wouldn't just be like on to the next.
Yeah, no,
would
he
say,
sits and
"Thank
talks to you."
Yeah, thank you for coming. I
Yeah.
appreciate the support and whatever. It's a tragic way for such a good person to leave,
Yeah.
but just like Robin Williams, you never know what they're going
Never know
through.
what's
But
going on.
yeah, but like he was one of the top guys out there for sure.
Yeah, he hurt. That one hurt big time.
Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, I wasn't overly over the top a fan of theirs. I liked all their music, whatever. But I was like, even when that one happened, I was like, dang,
Yeah,
that's tough. That one's tough.
yeah.
But yeah, those are all like Arizona people. Maybe it's just Arizona people are just good people. I don't know.
It could be.
Nothing big. No,
think so.
Just hear me out here. As far as like, I'm trying to remember where I saw it. Skydiving.
Yeah, yeah.
11 tandems and 3 solos, dude.
So actually, it was 5. No, because that was 19. So it was 6 years ago yesterday that I did my first AFF jump.
Ugh.
Yeah, it pops up on my feed, and I was
Yeah.
up for my memories, and I was like,
What's it like jumping for the first time by yourself?
So, well, let me clarify. So
Okay,
the AFF, once I'm by when I mean by myself, it's after I pull the chute, I'm on my own. So
Oh,
when you're
okay.
jumping with AFF, your first 7 jumps, you have at least one person hanging onto the side of you.
Okay.
So I want to say it's your first 3 AFF jumps, you've got one person on either side. And
Gotcha.
then once you get past those 3, then you'll have just one person.
Yeah.
And then once you get past the AFF, then you're
Oh,
you're totally on your own. So I did the first 3 where I had 2 people on either side.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then, but once you pull the chute,
It's all you.
you got to figure it out.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that terrifying?
So
There's 2 levels of that. I'm sure there's
there,
multiple.
yeah, I'd been wanting to skydive ever since I can remember. Ever
Yeah.
since I was little, I remember jumping off of my parents' bookshelves onto the couch. Like, I'm Tinkerbell. I'm gonna fly, And I just thinking that this is something that I want to do. And then when I got there, went through the training, and they're explaining all the different things that can go wrong oh so quickly.
Yeah.
That it was like, It would be one thing if they were like, you might have to cut away your parachute at some point, maybe. But they were like, no, it's not if, it's when you're going to have to do that. And it was like, I just don't know if I want to have that in the back of my head all the time. And I know all the jumpers that I talk to, they're like, cutaways, they're really not that bad. Once you do them for the first time, like it's not that bad. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
But I still have to do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. It's very intense. I never had a problem standing in the door of the plane.
Yeah.
I never had a problem during free fall. It was the chute.
Yeah.
It was the issues with the chute that just
in your mind.
Just completely attacked me. After my first jump, it was like I had a completely nervous breakdown. Because it was like, well, I did it. I did it. And then they're like, all right, well, we'll give you about 15 minutes and then we're loading back up again. And it was like, no.
I feel like I'm testing my luck. Too many times at once.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. No way, dude. I can't do that.
Well, I think also part of it too, I do have to mention, I did have 2 of my cousins there with me jumping.
Yeah.
And they had some issues with their landing. So I was like, my family, like stuff's going on with them. So it was like, I don't know if, I don't think it would have had a difference if I was out there by myself. I think the fear would have still taken a chunk out of me, but yeah.
How long is the fall? How quick is that?
Depends on how you fall from, but anywhere, and also there's a couple different factors, but I'd say anywhere from like 30 to 45 seconds.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. And what's typical jumping height? Where do they say?
Where I was jumping was 14,000 feet. 14 to 12,000.
I don't even like jumping and falling myself, much less like 14,000.
But it's wild too because you'd think that you'd get that, like when you jump out of the plane, you'd think you'd get that like feeling in your stomach, but you don't because the plane's already moving. So once you jump out, you're just continuing to move. It's when you go from stationary to motion that you get that feeling, but you're already moving in the plane, so you're just continuing the motion just in a different way.
30 to 45 seconds is so insane. That's literally that's that right there. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's so fast.
It goes by very slow when you're
doing
it. And
like
it also too because you've got your altimeter.
Okay.
So you're watching this because you have to pull the chute at a certain point. Yeah. So you're watching it the whole time. And I do remember that I'd be like, Jen, you don't have to check it that much.
You're not even enjoying the
right. No.
You're like, oh my god.
I was a big potato chipper. So when you're in free fall, you're supposed to arch your whole body. So your body is pretty much like this.
Yeah.
But if you have to relax while you're doing it, like you can't, you're like your whole body being tense, because you're falling through the sky.
Yeah. Fast. Super fast.
When I would be in my arch position was great, but it was the fact that I was so tense and all my muscles were just squeezing that I'd do this in the air.
Okay.
And if I had just relaxed, then it would just
float.
Yeah.
Kind of float-ish, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Float-ish.
That's so wild, dude. I can't, I think you're the first person I've talked to, that's actually jumped out of a plane. I've had friends do it, but I've never talked to them about it.
Yeah.
Because it's just never a conversation. But I think you're the first person I've talked to, and it's just being that close to somebody like that. Ew.
Well, I'll tell you, the people, the regular jumpers, like the fun jumpers.
Yeah.
They are some of the coolest people you will come across. Obviously, they're a completely different breed of human being.
100%.
That they find joy and happiness in, we might die today. But also, they are very well educated and trained on what they're doing. It's not until, they start playing around with stuff or pushing the limits that stuff can really go wrong. For the most part, skydiving is very, very safe if you do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But it's just that one little tiny percentage that I was like, I really don't want to fuck with you. I don't think so. I tried it. I gave it a good try. More power to you. But I will say I still think about it every day.
You would.
I still think about what if we no.
But that's such a rare experience that I would think about that too, right? You did something that a small percentage of people just do, right? Just in general.
Yeah.
Just the idea of 1%, say 1%, that's still 800,000 people have done it, right? Mm-hmm. And you've done it maybe less than that. There's less than a percentage, I would say, that regularly do it, right? 800,000 people is a lot of people. Would you say it's more
I wouldn't
than
say there's that many in the skydiving community. I'd say like right now, I want to say there's, and my numbers are totally going to be off. The last time I looked, I want to say there's probably like 25 to 32,000 active jumpers right now.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it is a very small.
You went into this micro number that doesn't exist of people that do this thing, and
Right.
you've done it. Mm-hmm. Yes, good.
See, but there's like still this part of me that's like, chicken, like, you know what I mean? It's like,
you've
oh,
done it
you little
14
shit.
times. Yeah, I've done it
Tandems
zero.
are so different. Tandems are so different. You don't have to do any of the work. You're just along for the ride.
You're still there. You
I know you're still jumping out of the plane,
Good
but
idea.
you don't have to do anything. You're just woohoo! It's the AFF where it's like, oh, you have to use your brain on this, and you
Yeah.
have to be fully aware of what's going on at all times. It's totally different.
Still nervous.
Yeah.
You're like, this is awesome. I should do this. Why did I do this?
Oh, the feeling I had going on for my first AFF jump was like every cell in my body was screaming, do not do this. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And I remember walking up on the stairs and passing the threshold of the door and then sitting down and being like, well, this is happening.
We're here.
We're gonna figure this out. We're in it now because we're not gonna be the ones that fly back down with a plane because we're too chicken.
Yeah.
Nope, this is gonna happen.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yep.
But you did that, and then you're doing wake surfing.
Mm-hmm.
You just enjoy those extremes, to a sense. I mean,
In a sense, yeah.
I mean, wake surfing isn't the most extreme, but it's an extreme sport.
It's different. Yeah,
It's not baseball where you
Right.
stand around. You know,
Yeah.
it's not basketball. So you enjoy the thrill of that, which is I think outside of what your normal realm would have been, anyways. Because you did dance, you did photography.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those aren't exactly taking life risks, right?
Yeah.
So going to this route, I think that was just like I need to do this. Like
something a little,
you may
little
not-
spicy.
you may not think of it that way, or
Yeah.
maybe you do, but you're probably just realizing now that like, oh, I do like to take a little bit more of a risk.
Yeah.
Is there anything else out there that you're like, I want to try?
Well, I've eaten fire.
You've eaten fire.
I've eaten fire.
That's interesting. I eat jalapenos. I don't know if that's the same.
But I cannot do spicy. I'll eat fire, but I can't eat spicy.
I eat habaneros. Is that the same thing? I've tried hot sauces, super
Yeah,
hot
nope.
ones.
Hot sauces are no go for me, bud. Can't do it.
Is there what else? Is there anything else out there? You want to swim with sharks?
Well, Mike and I are going. He's been not snorkeling. Is it snorkeling? Yeah, snorkeling. Wait,
Diving with sharks?
diving,
basically?
scuba diving.
Scuba diving.
Yeah, like
snorkel diving.
That's not right.
Yeah.
So Mike's been certified scuba diving already, and then he's gonna get me certified. So
Okay.
next year we should be doing some scuba.
Scuba.
Weird thing. When I was little, I saw it. Do you remember the show Road Rules?
Yeah.
Road Rules meets Real World.
Yeah.
I remember I was probably like 10 or 11, and I don't know why. I still want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but there was a challenge for them to walk across hot coals,
Yeah.
and for some reason, that's always been something like, if I ever see that, I'll sign up.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
No way. I don't know. I'm a sports guy.
Yeah,
I played football, wrestled, baseball, all those things. Right? I've done all those things. But I don't want to go to the other side of sports. I don't want to take the risk.
yeah.
I was talking to Dom about ESPN the Ocho.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that?
I don't think so.
It's a real it's not on just dodgeball. It's an actual channel.
Okay.
And they do extreme or odd sports. Like
What?
I was telling her that they have a sport in China where they spit into a cup from a distance and they have to see whoever fills it up the first.
Nope,
most.
I'm good.
That's a weird
good.
thing. That's a sport that people are betting on. Little people racing. Like they show the dog races on there, like
That I'm
like the
down
wiener
for. Dog races, all for. Like the little cute ones, like
Yeah,
like
the dog
trying
race-
to figure
yeah.
out like they're not in tracks at all, so they're just going circles.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
They do. I mean, they show it now on ESPN on 4th of July, I think it is. But like the hot dog eating contest. But they do the food competitions on that channel.
Okay.
So like, if you ever want to watch and see, like, if you want to spark interest in something, like
Add
watch-
to the to-do list.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. I'll try that. But I was telling her like that's the channel that doesn't just exist in a movie; it's a real thing. And
Okay.
if you ever want to watch some odd,
I'm
extreme,
gonna have to check that out.
like they have it's an actual competitive league where they wear those big bubble suits,
Oh yeah.
play soccer. It's a league.
What?
It's a real league.
Is it called something specific?
I don't remember, but yes.
Oh my God, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah, they have all those sports on there. So, like, if you want to check it out, I should give you a whole list of things
Right?
to do.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
Maybe we could tweak something with wake surfing.
Yeah, dude, there
Like-
probably is something out there. Like, you have to
Like-
score a certain way. Or
Well,
throw
so
a
they
ball.
did. We did start doing on the back of some boats. There's like a some kind of tow
Okay,
hitch kind of
yeah,
thing for ropes and stuff.
Yeah,
And so when we'd get up and we'd have the surf rope, our goal was to
loop it.
hook that on there. So
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of one thing, but yeah.
Have you ever done any rodeo stuff?
No, haven't. Well, I used to ride horses, but
Okay.
no rodeo. Well, no actual rodeo stuff. I did get bucked off a horse once.
I've done that.
That did happen. Yeah. That was actually I went riding for the first time in probably like 10 years. Because I did used to compete
Okay.
horses. I think I competed like 2 or 3 times, so
Okay.
it wasn't like big.
Yeah.
But I got back on a horse probably 10 years later. We did like a full day ride, and it was towards the end where the guy was like, all right, you look like you're pretty comfortable back on the horse again. So if you want to, because I asked him, I was like, is there any way I could go canter with the horse, which is running,
Yeah.
pretty much. And he was like, well, let's wait till the end of the ride, just see how you feel comfortable wise.
Mesh with it.
Yep. And so I asked him at the end, I was like, so can I? And he was like, yeah, go for it. Because we round this corner and there's this huge open field. And he was like, so yeah, have at it. And I was like, all right. And so I take off with the horse. And like I said, it had been probably a good 10, 12 years since I'd been on a horse. And I was not keeping rhythm with the horse at
Yeah,
all. Like
yeah.
just being a complete asshole. Couldn't keep my ass in the saddle. So the horse was like mid canter.
Yeah.
So the horse comes to a dead stop. I don't. I fly over the horse's head and somehow in midair flip around. So when I'm landing, I'm facing the horse and land right on my tailbone.
Ah,
And I land in this tall grass. So it was like 1 minute you see me, the next time you don't, and
Yeah.
then you just see feet just of me like, oh my God. Got the wind knocked out of me.
yeah.
And then it was like some ranch ride that we were doing. So they were like, oh my God, don't move. You can't move. Like your neck, they were so worried about,
Yeah.
which I totally get. But I had to lay there in the field for about 45 minutes to get helicoptered out. Yeah.
Where were you?
It was Texas. It
Okay,
was, oh God, I can't remember. It was somewhere probably like 45 minutes to an hour outside of Austin,
Okay.
something like that. So,
We used to ride horses a lot as a kid, and my brother and I used to go and hang out with my uncle Tony, and he had horses, and he had a big mare, and she was big.
Yeah.
she was a lot bigger than I think 14 hands is roughly the
oh wow.
the traditional size, but
Yeah.
she was a little bit taller than that, and she was wide. And we were in the what do they call it? The ring?
Yeah. Corral.
The corral. And we were riding and just doing circles and trotting, nothing crazy,
Yeah.
just getting up to a slow gallop. And at one point, I thought I was doing good because I was keeping rhythm.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm going to push it. 10 years old, 11 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
I thought, okay. And then she started getting up and then she started going. And then I wasn't
And it
controlling
feels
her.
so when you're that little, it
Yeah.
feels
Oh,
like,
yeah.
whoa! Like,
This is way too fast.
yeah.
And she didn't like that I wasn't controlling it.
Mhm.
She was very trained, but she didn't like that I was like trying to pull her this way and this way, but we were just making circles.
hmm
And she threw me and
Yep.
I hit the fence and I fell and I didn't break anything. Thank God I didn't break anything, but I was like, yeah, I'll probably never do that again. But I
Yeah.
was like scraped up and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't realize how strong horses are or
Yeah.
how, like, you think you're good and then all of a sudden you're not good.
Mhm. Yep.
It took me a while.
Yeah. Broke my tailbone on that one.
Oh,
Yep.
you couldn't sit down forever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's there. I mean, it is so much fun. But yeah, it's like, right. I just remember being so little and them being like showing me videos of what cantering looked like with me on the horse because I
Yeah.
was like, this feels like she's like in a sprint, and they're like, she's not going that fast. I'm like, but I'm so little.
It's literally though you feel like because the wind's blowing,
Yeah.
you see their hair
It's
flowing.
the like the whole
The
like,
body, yeah.
moving that
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God.
I can't. Oh
I don't
my
trust
God,
this.
I can't
Yeah.
keep up, and then you're just flailing everywhere.
Yep.
But yeah, I used to love going and hanging out and being around the horses and whatnot. But after that, I was like, I think bicycles.
Mm-hmm.
Bicycles are nice.
Bicycles.
I
Yeah,
like
they can't
bicycles.
bite me either.
yeah, They don't throw me anywhere. I hit
Yeah.
the brake. I know when I'm stopping.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd ever own horses, but I'd like to go riding again.
Yeah.
There's trails that you can do. There used to be Don Donnelly stables out in Gold Canyon. I know there's one, there used to be one in Alpine. I don't know if it's there anymore, but
Okay.
they're local, but
Yeah.
you can go do trails and stuff. I'd rather just walk around and just,
Mosey.
This is nice. And if it trots a little bit, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm too old for this. But that's cool, man. I'm glad that you're into extreme stuff because then I have a lot of questions and I'll just ask you all the questions and
Have at it.
I'll just live vicariously through you.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to. Well, Jen, I appreciate you coming on the show today.
Absolutely.
A lot of
Thank you for
fun.
having me.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, give a call to Jen. She'll hook you up with some services. We'll get you all figured out. If you have any questions about anything cool stuff, if you want to learn how to skydive, give her a shot as well.
Any photography needs?
Yeah, if you want to get a photo of something, maybe you got a newborn baby,
Headshots,
weddings,
events,
headshots. Oh, that's what you do.
products. Yep.
Right? You do more corporate stuff?
Yeah. So headshots, events, products are the main
Okay.
things.
Well, then give her a call. She
Yep.
got it. Look her up on Instagram.
Instagram, Live Photography by Jen, or just Live Photography.
It'll bring
Yep.
you right to her. If you don't know if it's her or not, blonde hair. That's the
Yeah.
giveaway.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Jen. I appreciate it. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys later. Bye.